Hello guys, hello everybody. This is again, I am a singer, eternal voice. Welcome to my YT channel. Okay. Okay. Our topics a while ago previously talks about cholesterol, triglycerides, and fatty acids. Okay. And then now we have protein. Okay. So protein, the building blocks of life. Why? Because it made us strong with this protein intake. Okay. So we'll become strong if we have adequate level of protein in our body system or inside our system, human body system. Okay. Okay, but before that, I need to tell you that this protein is composed of a chain of amino acids. Okay. What are the functions of amino acids in our body? And that is the next question that could arise now. Okay, later I will be able to discuss. You briefly discuss also to you the functions of those amino acids. Okay, but in order to familiarize what's really the mechanics or the behavior or the, let's say, properties or characteristics of this protein, then I have to say that the components of this protein. But what I have researched, there's no sulfur, okay? There's no sulfur content, but based on previous research that I have, it contains sulfur. But I don't know what's really the exact. But I think so. There's no sulfur, of course. Okay. So the components will be, let's have an acronym, CHON, CHON, okay, CHON, okay? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Okay, those are the elemental components of protein. Again, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. There's no sulfur. I think so. I think sulfur will only be acting as a attachment. Okay, maybe I think so because it was not found in the natural formula of protein. Okay, now let's classify protein into two different types of amino acids. Okay, we have the essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. Okay, what's the difference between essential amino acid and non-essential amino acid? Anybody? But by the way, you can chat me in the right corner in the screen because I'll be able to have an interactive chat with you. Then you can ask me questions. Then I can answer also directly if I know how to answer your questions, of course. Okay, based only on what I have learned or what I gained information from my course as a chemical engineering graduate, and also with backup, YouTube videos, okay, websites or any reference books, okay. Even before I read also, and I got to refresh. Because I love to read. That's why. Okay, I love to read. I love to surf like this, and I love to really watch informative videos also, especially pure sciences. Really, I love. Okay, and of course, related to occupational safety and health. And this time, it's really under also health, right? Because this is biochemistry. I think so. Biology, biochemistry, organic chemistry, and a little bit of biochemical engineering, something like that, linked with each other somewhere along the way. Okay, when you discuss this topic, okay, like that. So going back to the classification between essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. Okay, I must write here. Okay, okay, the difference is, gosh, the essential amino acids can be taken by food supplements. Okay, food supplements or any food that you intake from your body or being inputted to your body, something like that. Okay, for example, fish, chicken, beef, mutton, lamb, okay, hot dog, chorizo, bacon, okay, what else? Sausage, okay, and then fish, okay, fishes like that, okay, milk, eggs, okay, like that. Those are foods that contains mainly of protein, okay, so it gives us strength, okay, it has more calories also, maybe same as the carbohydrates, literally, because carbohydrates is composed of CHO already. If you can remember the formula of carbohydrates, right, 6 atoms of carbon, 12 atoms of hydrogen, and 6 atoms of oxygen. So there's CHO in the carbohydrates, and you will only add N, right, chon, so it becomes a protein. So more or less, not more or less, it's just basically the same. You have to intake calories for this, okay? It could be in kilocalories, calories, but most food packaging, okay, expressed in kilocalories. Okay, I will give you an example. I will have this brown slide, and then you will check the packaging on the front page, back page, or okay, like this. Sorry, back side, front side. I'm talking of paper. That's why back page, front page, like that. Never mind now, because it's just only understandable. Okay, right? The side, the front, the back. So you can see the packaging. The words are nutrition facts, something like that. In this brown sliced bread, sure ako that there is carbohydrates presence for this because it gives us energy, so kilocalorie. I will check the carbohydrates. My gosh. The total carbohydrates are 13 grams and then comprises to 5%. Okay. By, what's this? By percent by mass, not by volume. Huh? Okay. But in terms of mass kasi, so we have, based on 20 servings per container, meaning to say in this particular experimentation in the laboratory, this is their basis of their computation and their calculation that it arrives the results like this. Okay, and then the total, the total mass has been considered as the base of their calculation, sorry, is 30 grams. Okay, because in every calculation, especially in stoichiometric relationship, and in organic chemistry, you have to deal with basis of calculation. Okay, usually. No, you cannot compute without the basis of calculation. So in here, regarding with this sliced bread, the basis of calculation is 30 grams. Okay, in 20 servings per container. So we obtained after the laboratory result and the experimentation. So the total carbohydrates are 13 grams, which is equivalent to 5% mass, okay, weight, or percent by mass, okay, not by volume, okay, because it's in terms of grams. Okay, if you remember also basic chemistry, so not percent by mass, not percent by volume. Actually, you can convert, but in here, percent by mass talaga siya. Okay, carbohydrates. Okay, like that. So it will give me strength. This is only my breakfast and my lunch. Imagine I survived. Why? Because it contains 13 grams of total carbohydrates. So 13 grams are already enough, okay, to be added in your system. Okay, I am 67 kilograms, then 13 grams will be added to my system, and I can also survive for, let's say, 8 hours, and then again, I will feel hungry after that, something like that. Because this is mostly fiber, this brown. I don't like the white bread because the white bread are not, don't have fibers. Okay, and this is wet bread, composition of a wet bread, WHEAT, which is good to the health. Okay, wet, unsaturated fatty acids. Okay, like that. Let me check also the, oh my gosh, sorry. maybe it will feedback after this live streaming. So I think I'm gonna having the first part, second part, so that I can determine whether the microphone will feedback or not, right? So I think so. Okay, like that. So this is the brown sliced bread composed of 5%, okay, mass in every 30 grams of sample as our basis in the calculation. And then our total carbohydrates, sorry, 13 gram. So this is not yet the protein, okay? Let's still CHO, huh? And then I'll check the protein how much. Okay. My gosh. Oh, it's very small. My eyes are very blurred. My gosh. What's this? Oh my gosh. Thanks to God, zero cholesterol. My gosh. Where's the protein? Oh. Okay. The protein is just 3 grams. It's in the bottom part. 3 grams. So there are more carbohydrates than protein. Oh, never mind, as long as half. Okay. So, okay. Anyway, I did not left heavy objects. I did not do heavy activities. That would be more needed if protein will be more if you do such activities, physical activities, because it will give you strength. And so it's more supposedly than carbohydrates also. Protein is only 3 grams. And we also don't know what this protein exactly is. We can just determine this through laboratory experimentation. It's only general protein. This is not mentioned. Okay? Actually, there are a lot of proteins, right? Derived from amino acids. Okay. Going back to the chemical formula of protein: carbohydrates, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Okay, now, oh my God. So this is very important that we need to have a good intake of protein, and we need to study more about protein. Not really that force you to study, it's just only an information, okay, that protein have 4 application in our body system. The first will be this protein will act as an enzyme. Enzyme, you know, enzyme will catalyze the chemical reactions inside our body to have better functions and regulations of all our organs. Because our organs need chemical substances to survive, not only water. Okay? That's why we have hormones. Okay, hormones are receiving substances, and basically those are substances. Okay? So will act as an enzyme, catalyze chemical reactions inside our body. Second, the second function or application of this protein is this act as a tissues, organs, structures, and muscles. This will help there in the development of our tissues and organs, tissue structures, and muscles. Okay? Muscles, you know muscles? Okay, like that. So it develops, body structure. Okay, because without muscles, we cannot survive. We cannot stand. I cannot sit here. I cannot stand. These muscles, together with the bones, made us sustain to stand, to sit, okay, anything, to lift an object like that or whatever. So we will just, collapse automatically without the muscles and the bones, right? So this is for the develops the body structure and the mobility. Mobility meaning the function, the way we move, okay, the way we act like that. So these are the functions of the one of the functions of protein, okay, for the body structure and mobility. Oh my gosh, like that. The third is for the application in the production of hemoglobin. You know hemoglobin? Hemoglobin is very important because it will transport and carry oxygen. It will produce oxygen to be delivered in the bloodstream going to our main parts of our organs inside our body, for example, lungs, heart, liver, kidney. So without this hemoglobin, so again, we'll suffer from any diseases. Okay? That's why we need protein. Okay, hemoglobin is a very big protein. Okay, like that. Okay, big protein. Maybe I think it's a membrane protein. I'm not really sure. Okay, but I think so. But it's a very big protein. Okay, hemoglobin. So very important in our blood flow circulation because it carries blood. No, sorry, it carries oxygen from the blood going to the different parts of our organs to function properly. Okay, hemoglobin. So the fourth one will serve or acts as a hormone. Hormone to control body functions. Okay, for example, this protein will yield hormone. Okay, and hormone is basically a chemical substances. Okay, like that, and it will travels in the bloodstream in a certain distance, going to the, for example, kidney, liver, and the kidney and the liver have the tissues, and then it has a cell membrane. Okay, the cell membrane have a cell receptor. So when the hormone will come there, they will catch the hormone like this. After catching that one, they will signals to the brain. Okay? After signaling to the brain, and then that's why we do our job, we think, we sing, we read, I need to drink coffee, like that. That's the role of hormones. Okay? We act as a messenger to regulate the functions of our organs and the way we behave also. Okay? Like that. For example, me, I'm hungry now. I'm going to eat banana, something like that. So that means that particular hormone, which is the dopamine, okay, dopamine or either cortisol hormones, will signals into the brain that I need this banana because I'm hungry already. Something like that. So it's all about proper control and regulation of different functions inside our body through the chemical substances that will act as a messenger. Okay, like up to the cell receptors in the particular tissues. Okay, all organs have tissues and have its cell membranes. Okay, in connection to that, that's why we need also cholesterol because the cholesterol will protect the cell membrane. So actually, it's not bad at all to have cholesterol. It's useful inside our body. The only bad is that if we have a higher level of low density lipoprotein. Okay, technically not the high density lipoprotein because high density lipoprotein is the good cholesterol. Okay, and you must know that because the doctor is referring to cholesterol generally, that is referring to low density lipoprotein, is not the high density lipoprotein technically and medically. Okay, like that. Since it has not taught in the school, I'll just read and research about that in my own initiative like that because we don't have medical subjects. And I found out very useful to research medical subjects also sometimes because we are dealing with disease sometimes in our day-to-day lives, right? For example, my finger was wound. What is really the cause for this? But our course did not teach that one. Okay, so that's why for me, I really want to have that program in our curriculum. Okay, because for example, you are a business administration, at least you have one subject for medical subject. If you are a business accountancy, you have a medical subject, at least one subject for that, dealing with anatomy, physiology, and epidemiology, something like that. Okay, so that we can really understand the behavior, the characteristic, because we are growing old. We are not forever young. Okay, like that, then we need to anticipate what will happen to us when we are aging 50 years old, 55 years old, 60 years old, and our subjects will not help. Okay, for that. Okay, so there must be knowledge for that. Disease, controlling of the disease, okay, what it caused by that, and what is really the exact medication for that, the treatment for that. We should also study that, not only the doctors and medical professionals, okay, like that. What if we don't have money also? We cannot go to the doctor, okay, we cannot go to the clinic. At least we have an idea and information. What to prevent, to eat, what to avoid to eat. So it's an advantage really if we have a knowledge of what kind of food that we're going to eat that is good for our health. Okay, something like that. Though a lot of chemical reactions also has been discussed in general chemistry, but it doesn't deal with, the combination of the physiological factors of the main organs, like that, the liver, like we're just talking only the chemical reaction, the enzyme, but we'll never touch what kind of disease will be developed after there's more of cholesterol. What is the disease will be developed if there is a malfunctioning of your kidney, something like that. What are the particular hormones we need so that we can act very strong, we can think very strong like that. So like that. So it's very important really, okay, to study those and to have learning for that for our additional survival. Okay, and we cannot deny we are growing old. Nobody going back to young or kids. Okay, and we must do it. Okay, the doctor will just help us if we pay the money. Okay, like that. That's why we need to research in social media like this, in websites, any reference books. Okay, but for us, Bachelor of Science and Chemical Engineering graduates, or it could be Bachelor of Science in Biology, Bachelor of Science in Pharmacy, Bachelor of Science in Medical Technology, Bachelor of Science in Chemistry or BS Chem. We are interrelated courses. So we can understand a little bit when it comes to chemical reactions. So all we have to do is to research more because you are not dealing with a disease. Okay, so that's the only thing we need, and it's very easy for us. Not very easy. Easy for us to understand really the behavior of those atoms, especially the carbon hydrogen atom chains, because we have knowledge for that. Okay, all the others also have the other engineering because you have general chemistry, but we have higher chemistry. We have the organic chemistry, the physical chemistry, like that, and also those medical courses have clinical chemistry. Okay, that's why we don't have clinical chemistry, but we have organic chemistry, qualitative chemistry, quantitative chemistry, physical chemistry, biochemistry, like the metallurgical chemistry, environmental chemistry, but we don't have clinical chemistry. Okay, because clinical chemistry will try to involve the chemical reactions according also to the disease that will be developed and through that chemical reactions. So those are the center of clinical chemistry. That's why epidemiology focusing on it as a branch of medical science that deals with the study of the disease and its prevention and its control. Okay, that's epidemiology. Okay, so we can really understand that through the combination of the anatomy, the structures of our organs inside our body, and also the behavior and the functions of our organs in the body, which is the physiological cycle or the physiology. Okay, like that. So mainly it's biology because it studies with life, human. Okay, biology then plus chemistry, so biochemistry plus the technology, application of technology and mathematics. It will become biochemical engineering. Okay, or it could be biotechnology. Okay, it's also related, especially in the chromosomes, like that, the conformations, the transcriptions, like that. How many chromosomes will be paired like this, X and Y, X and Y, X, Y, Z, like this, blah, blah, blah. So everything like that in the biotechnology. Okay, so there's a relationship. And I cannot explain all for that because I'm not really equipped for all that information. Only overview on some basic information I could deliver to you guys. Okay, going back to protein. Oh my gosh, I love protein. You love protein or not? I think you love so. Just like me. Just like me, we long to be close to you. Ganon. Diba? Even in the live streaming, you can still sing, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, now. Tune. That's true talaga siya. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. Okay, it's very interesting, right? Tune. Oxygen coming from the plants or in the atmosphere freely given by God. Okay, 21% of oxygen. Review basic. Okay, 21% of oxygen given by God. Okay, referring to oxygen gas normally, right? Okay, and then 79% of nitrogen. Okay, this is freely given by God also. What happened through industrial revolution in 1801, 1801? My gosh, I really read that before. Okay, industrial revolution. The carbon dioxide in the sun, the release of carbon dioxide increases in the in the ozone layer of the sun. So that's why there is a global warming. Okay, so our Earth now is very hot compared as before, and now in fact this sun is very old. I forget the age of the sun. Okay, what is the age of the sun? In studying the, what do you call this one? Astronomy is the branch of science that deals with planets, stars, galaxy, ganon, right? If you remember, astronomy, okay, like that. So I forgot what's the age of the sun, okay? I don't know. But the Earth, she because she is used for things, objects in English grammar. Okay, if you use objects, then she. Okay, like that. She is. Why she? Why it is not he? To avoid that one, let's just mention specifically. The Earth is now 3 billion years old plus. Okay, imagine very old. 3 billion years old plus, and the plus I don't know, as approximately only the 3 billion. Okay, 3 billion years old. Okay, 3 billion years old. Ito ba? Nine zeros. So our planet Earth is very old now. Okay, plus the due to industrial revolution, there's a release of different pollutants in the atmosphere, okay, and what we call as the pollutants, the air pollutants or the air contaminants. Okay, a lot. As far as I could remember, there are 182. I forgot exactly the figure, but at least 100 plus air contaminants or airborne contaminants or pollutants around our atmosphere. Now, God gave us 21% of oxygen and also 79% of nitrogen. So this is no longer the exact 21 and the exact 79 due to the chemical reaction. Okay? This, pollution or the pollutants that will be diffusing in the atmosphere will react to this oxygen and nitrogen. It will consume some of it. Okay? That's why if we have a gas testing device, okay, if you're an OSH professional, the oxygen will not be perfect anymore because of pollution. Okay, we are not breathing freely the air oxygen now compared as to 2000 years ago during the time of Jacob, during the time of Abraham, okay, before Christ, BC, 2000 years ago, something like that. Their air is very clean compared today because a lot of release of different power plants or any gas industries, it will produce these gases and then it will produce carbon dioxide, which are harmful gases that can cause global warming. Okay, global warming increasing the temperature is very hot in the ozone layer. Okay, like that, and it will become thin, THIN, and then it could no longer protect the too much hot. Then it will expose now to the planet Earth. Okay, like that. So the ozone is very important. Ozone. We should take care. The formula of ozone is three atoms of oxygen, which is found mainly in the layer of the sun. That's why it's called ozone layer of the sun, because ozone is O3, three atoms of oxygen. Okay, and the ozone will also revolve in the atmosphere. okay, in the stratosphere, oh my gosh, atmosphere, hydrosphere, stratosphere, blah, 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 so on. So the study in the universe, right? I forgot. Oh my gosh. Like this. Too much talking. In the CHON, there's an oxygen. So mainly the oxygen comes from the nature. And then the plants will absorb it. Okay. Then when we eat the food, of course, coming from plants, we receive also the oxygen. Okay, plus the oxygen we breathe, right? It will go to our body. Okay, so that's one component of protein. Okay, like that. And chon, nitrogen also, because chon, right? CHO, nitrogen coming from the 79% nitrogen that God gave us. Okay, and then we can take that also because it will be absorbed to the plants, to the food, like this. And we intake that also, especially in the processed foods. What are those processed foods? There are a lot of preservatives there, and nitrogen is one of the components there. So through that, we can take nitrogen also in our body. Okay, a lot of sources, not only the plants, but also in the preservatives. Okay, for example, this chicken will reach 6 months expiry date due to the preservatives, which are component mainly is nitrogen. Okay, nitrogen preservative. That is the also one of the application of nitrogen. So we can receive that, right? Because most of our food also are processed foods, right? Especially frozen foods like that. Okay. In fact, we eat the daily alatul. I think so, especially the chicken. Okay, so we can receive normally nitrogen, of course. Chon, what else? Hydrogen, of course, we can take this hydrogen through water. Okay, there's 2 atoms of hydrogen in that, and we can receive that also. Okay, and there's also oxygen from the water, added also oxygen from coming from the plants. Okay, so it's very interesting, right? To tune like this. Okay, and this carbon normally coming from carbohydrates that we take from the plants again. Okay, like that. And basically from the green pigment called chlorophyll. Okay, during the laboratory experiment analysis, then the chlorophyll will convert to something like CO2, H2O, like that. Okay. Actually, I tell you previously, right, that the reaction of chemical reaction of chlorophyll with oxygen, it's just basically the same with combustion in fuel. We add oxygen, okay? But it's only specifically the carbohydrates or any kind of CHOs. Because there's a lot of CHOs also, right? Especially the hydrocarbons plus oxygen. Ganun, ganun. Okay, we cannot tell you one by one because live streaming will not be enough. It will take 1 year to discuss everything. My gosh, talaga. Yes, okay. So, like this. Let's take an example only, the reaction of carbohydrates, mainly 6 atoms of carbon. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to discuss properly the tune. Why it arrives like that? Okay, where does it come from? Something like that. Because you need to ask questions so that you can really learn something. It's not enough that we will give the data. You should ask why like that. Where does come from? Like, okay, think. That's why question is very intelligent question. Why? WHY. Okay. Okay, in the investigation and accident reporting, right? There's 5 W's and 1 H. The Y's question, WHY, is very smart question because through that you can think. And if you cannot understand, you can research and you can read, right? You can support the validity of that information. How valid is that? How reliable is that? Okay, you receive from social media, from Facebook, from YouTube. It's not enough to to read and you without any validation. Me, I usually validate. Okay, when I read the YouTube, when I watch YouTube videos, especially if the author are not doctors, I will validate that in Wikipedia. Okay, Wikipedia, the standard like encyclopedia or Webster, like that. It's there. Okay, I don't believe really. Okay, sometimes they wrong. Okay, especially if they give a compound like this and the formula is wrong. Okay, and it's it's in the video also. In fact, it's in a description, okay? That we have no power to interrupt with them, okay? Like that. Because the purpose of that is only for, information also, and then vlogging and, gosh, uploading videos like this, okay? So that's why we need to double check the sources. Oh my gosh! What's happening now? I have to show you the reaction, right? Oh my gosh, I will show you the reaction. My God, what's happening? Fuling tea. What's the formula of chlorophyll? I forgot also. But let's just try to take carbohydrates formula because it came from the chlorophylls, right? So let's just try to have the basic, okay, like that. My gosh, my goodness, okay. Any fuel or any organic compound usually, right? Or inorganic compound added with oxygen, the process will be combustion. Okay? Combustion is the rapid oxidation of fuel to release heat, light, and a black residue called carbon and some smoke. Okay, that's the definition of combustion. So exothermic reaction, there's a release of heat in the environment, okay, through rapid oxidation. Could it either be an inorganic compound or an organic compound? So if there's no heat, there will be no combustion even though you add oxygen, okay, because there's no ignition source, okay, like that. Okay, so it's just like that, the philosophy or the analogy for the reaction of chlorophyll with oxygen. But I will just try to use the carbohydrates to make it simpler, right? Carbohydrates, oh my gosh, talaga, okay, C6H12O6 plus oxygen gas is equals to carbon dioxide plus water. Okay. That's why we have saliva. Okay, saliva is mainly water. Urine is mainly water. Sweat is mainly water. And then we exhale the CO2 in the environment and it goes back also to the plants, something like that. It's a cycle only. Okay? Like that. So this is the product that we have really and carbohydrates inside our body. Okay? So that's an evidence. So this is not a false statement. It's a reality. Okay? Like that. Okay, now we need to balance the equation. Diyan na naman tayo. Balancing the equation. Okay? My gosh. So carbon, again, chuba chucho. 6 carbon and X. Let X the number of atoms of carbon, which is unknown. My gosh. Hydrogen, 12 atoms, and there is a hydrogen equivalent to 2. And oxygen in the right side we have 8, and the other one we have 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, this is very imbalanced. Look at the reaction because I did not memorize, okay, the number of moles for each product. That's why. And we need to prove na lang siya in order this will be balanced, right? Okay. 6 carbon, something like that. You have to put 6, okay? Because again, by law of conservation of mass, the number of atoms must be balanced. So we need to balance the equation, right? There's a purpose behind, or a scientific law or a scientific theory that we need to balance this chemical reaction. Okay, like that. Oh my gosh. So if I add 6 atoms inside of the carbon dioxide, okay, that's 12 na siya. Oh my gosh. 12 plus 1. Okay, 13 na siya. Okay, like that. For hydrogen, 12. And now we have hydrogen from the other side is only 2. Then 12, 2x algebra. So 12 is equals to 2x. So 6. We need to multiply 2 by 6 so that it will be equal to 12. Okay? The number of atoms. So put 6 at the side of water. Okay? 6. Now, the last part should be balanced is now the oxygen. So the oxygen is 8 on the right side, and the oxygen is 14 on the other side. So 14. 8 plus 6, 14. 14 already, okay? And then 8 plus 6, 14. And the other one is 8. Okay, so we need to do this is 8, 8, 8, 8, like that. Okay, now there is 2 subscript. Okay, subscript. So subscript times coefficient is equal to the number of atoms. Okay, so x times 2, my gosh, may ganun talaga, plus 6 is equals to 14. Okay, just like algebra, right? Linear equation, linear shift solve equation in your algebra. Let's employ algebra in the chemical reaction so that we can understand easily the law of conservation of mass. That it states that the number of atoms, the total number of atoms in the product will be equal to the number of atoms in the reactant, something like that. Okay, so let's compute. Okay, 2x is equal to 14 minus 6. 2x is equals to agroy 8. X is equals to 4. Okay. X is equals to 4. Then substitute now that beside the oxygen gas. So 4. Okay. Now, get the total of oxygen in the reactant. 8 plus 6, 14. So it's already balanced. Oxygen balance. So we prove now that this is gonna be the reaction. 1 mole of carbohydrates plus 4 moles of oxygen gas is equals to 6 moles of carbon dioxide plus 6 moles of water. Never confused with the atoms, huh? If we put that on the coefficient beside the element or compound, that is not atom. That is mole. That's why I told you, total number of atoms is not equal to total number of moles. Basic idea in chemistry, especially chemical reactions. Okay? You should not be confused for that. That's why also in chemistry is the unit and the amount of substance is the mole, not the atom. We represent that usually in our calculation in stoichiometry or chemical calculation as small letter n. Okay? Small letter n. So that means that is mole, M-O-L-E. And sometimes during our calculation, we use only the word MOL represents mole. We remove the letter E. Okay? Moles per liter, like that, for the molarity, something like that. Okay? So that is 4 moles of oxygen. You will never say 4 atoms of oxygen, huh? But you will say 8 atoms of oxygen. Because subscript times the number of moles beside this oxygen will be the number of atoms. So there's a difference, right? Very clear. Okay, let's say 1 mole of carbohydrates, but there's a lot of subscript atoms, 6 atoms of carbon, 12 atoms of hydrogen. We will never say 1 atom of, carbohydrates. You should always say 1 mole of carbohydrates because it is the unit in the amount of substance in chemical reaction. Okay, there's a purpose behind that. Obeying the law of conservation of mass or law of conservation of energy. Okay? Okay, the law of conservation of energy, as far as I could remember, that is a matter can neither be created nor can be destroyed by ordinary chemical means. Okay? And the law of conservation of mass is just like that. Mass can neither be created nor can be destroyed by ordinary chemical means. Meaning, if it is only undergoing a physical change, that could not disturb the chemical reaction because that is not a chemical change. It states only there unless there's a chemical change. Okay? So it will not alter the number of moles if you will just only heat that one. Okay, because the heating is a physical change, not a chemical change, something like that. Burning is a chemical change or pyrolysis. Okay, it's the process of burning substance is pyrolysis. Okay, based on our chemistry like that, blah blah blah, so on so. Okay, so again, matter, specifically the examples energy, can either be created or can be destroyed by ordinary chemical means. Ordinary chemical means is only physical change, right? Physical properties like that. What are those? Okay, boiling point, melting point, okay, diffusion value, okay, specific heat capacity, density, like that, mass, volume. Those are physical properties and characteristics of a chemicals. Okay, chemicals is there's a chemical change after that, burning like that, undergoing so many processes. Okay, especially the combustion is a chemical reaction. Okay, like that. Not only combustion, the reaction of acid and the base to produce solid water. That could be a neutralization reaction, the hydrolysis reaction, the dehydration synthesis, polymerization reaction, blah blah blah, so on so. Okay, isomerization reaction, isomers, right? If you remember that one, organic chemical formula that have the same carbon atoms and hydrogen atoms or oxygen atoms, but differ only in the orientation. In the, could it be a cis, or a trans, or a para, something like that. Para. Oh my gosh. In organic chemistry, okay, like that. So tune, going back to tune. So this is our reaction. Okay, carbohydrates plus 4 moles of oxygen gas is equal to 6 moles of carbon dioxide plus 6 moles of water. These carbohydrates and oxygen are part of protein. Okay, only carbon dioxide is not a part of protein because it will be released from the alveoli. Alveoli in our respiratory system, there's a bronchioles. Okay, in the bronchioles, there's a air tiny sacs that is called alveoli, and then the CO2 will be released there through the process of perspiration. Example, the sweat coming out on your body. So there's a process of perspiration, and through the process of exhalation. Exhale, inhale. We inhale oxygen. So that means our alveoli receive oxygen. We exhale CO2, meaning to see that CO2 are expelled or exhaled in the alveoli. Okay, in the air tiny sacs of our air respiratory part, the lungs. Okay, like that. So CO2 is being rejected or discarded outside our system. And then it will just go back because we will eat carbohydrate, oxygen. It's a cycle. Okay? Like that. So meaning to say, we cannot survive also without carbon dioxide. Right? Agree or not? Because it's just a cycle. Okay? This reversible reaction, actually, it will go back to the natural reaction and come back to the product and it will go back again. So it will go back to the natural original reaction, but it is not irreversible. Okay? Irreversible reaction is a problem. Okay, you could not use already this CO2 back because that's irreversible reaction. But this is a reversible reaction. If you reverse this product, CO2 plus H2, it will still release carbohydrates and oxygen. Okay? Like that. So this is reversible reaction. Okay? There's no alteration of the chemical reaction. All will be important. Okay, my gosh. My gosh, boy. CHON. And there's nitrogen, right? Coming from the 79% coming from the atmosphere. Okay, nitrogen. It's very important, this one. Okay, like that. That's why we have nitrogen gas cylinder. It's also useful in the process, right? Because this is inert, inert, a noble gas that is non-reactive. So meaning to say, the instability rating or the reactivity rating is 0. Okay? 0 because it is stable. The more it is stable, it will never react. Okay? Because he is stable. Me, I am stable. I will no longer react because I am always stable already. Okay? like that. That's analogy. So instability and reactivity, right? If you remember the standard of National Fire Protection Association, NFPA, number 704. Okay, that's law, OSH law or standard, NFPA standard number 704. If we have several chemicals, okay, for example, petrol, crude oil, gasoline, kerosene, something like that. So before it will be delivered into the factories and the companies, there is a safety data sheets and there's a diamond. Okay, the diamond are subdivided into four parts. We have the instability or the reactivity. The color is yellow. We have the red. The color is red. Of course, the color is red. The color is red, meaning that is the fire hazards or the flammability. The white is the specific hazards, meaning to say the corrosivity, how corrosive it is, or it would be reactive to water, okay, like that. Or if water will be introduced, it will be exploding like this. So that's why water, and there's a line in the center, meaning to say that water will cause explosion if you will react this to a certain chemical. So that is white. Okay, if it's zero, no problem. Okay, because there's no addition of water, like example. Okay, corrosivity, alkalinity or alkene, acid, radioactive chemicals. How radioactive is that also? Okay, because radioactive materials can affect our respiratory lungs. Okay, and it's always chronic disease. Okay, could it be our reproductive organ also because of this radioactivity? The exposure of radioactive materials or substances will normally damage our reproductive organ and respiratory tract, the lungs, okay, through constant exposure above 8 hours in daily, like this, the threshold limit value, something like that, okay? So that is for white. I'm talking for the subdivision of the diamond in the NFPA 704, okay? Like that. And then the other one also is the blue. The blue color represents the toxicity, how toxic the chemical substances are, or talking about how hazardous the chemicals are. So basically, that is talking about health hazards. Okay, so that we can remember that easily, we can use the acronym capital H plus capital H. That means health hazards specifically focused on toxicity and how hazardous the substance really are. Okay, and the ratings will be based on 0 to 4, something like that. Zero like this. It will be non-hazardous, and then I will never discuss that because it's not a topic for hazardous communication standards. Okay, under 29 CFR 1910 1200 OSHA standard. Okay, so all our that our different industries should follow the hazardous communications. Okay, standards. We will follow that one. Okay, blah blah blah, and we can understand that clearly because if we buy gasoline and then the tank will have a diamond like that. That's why there is a red rating, UN rating, right? If you can remember, that is transport rating, okay, for bulky chemical substances because it's declared in the safety data sheets. The mode of transporting the chemicals or any substances, could it be done in a shipping? Could it be done in a truck? Or could it be done in airfare? So there's also regulations for that. Okay, for according to the UN number of the particular chemicals. Okay, that's for safety data sheets. Okay, that I'll never discuss also the 16 elements of the safety data sheets. Our time will be consumed if I will discuss that also. Okay, my topics are only put in that, but I only touch that one. Okay. CHON. My gosh! Time check is brought to you by Powdered Alaska Milk. 96.3 W Rock! Oh my gosh, ganon! Talaga. Nag-enjoy talking to myself. Okay? Talaga. Okay. See, all my scratch papers are being used up. See? I conserved resources. Okay, the scratch paper, see? Based on my explanations, discussions, or whatever, like that. My gosh. I really miss, doing formal trainings because we don't have formal trainings in our company, okay? Like that. But before, I used to conduct formal training in OSH, okay? But now, nothing. It's only an informal way of training. So I missed those formal training to be conducted in a classroom, and there's a refresher, and there's a lot of, like that. I miss that one also. I think someday. My gosh, someday. Gosh. Formal classroom instruction. Okay? Like that. We have a training plan, but I am talking to the mode of our training is informal, not the formal one in a classroom instruction that have visual aids, laptop, the what do you call that one, the projector. It's only talking in verbal without any visual aids, and sometimes they cannot understand because sometimes my mouth is very spontaneous, very fast talking in English, and sometimes others also cannot understand very well, and sometimes we need an interpreter in order for them to understand. So there's really a barrier and there's a limitation for information comprehension regarding OSH training in our company. Okay, like that. But I don't think so with other companies. I think they have, okay, like that. Because we don't have a strong foundation of safety program. Okay, because the previous safety administration, okay, like that, very lacking. Okay, so so he is a safety before 15 years, but he did not introduce any improvement to the safety program of this company. That's why I suffered a lot. Okay, I keep on conceptualizing, creating safety procedures like that because I don't found one. I found sometimes, but it's not really adequate. Okay, and it's not following the proper way of doing the safety procedure. It's just like a narrative, just like high school students. Okay, it's not really that Uh, what I mean is not really that. What do you call this one? Class A, only on the level below, like that. Okay, because I don't think so. Because maybe don't have OSH trainings, don't have Nebush certification, or don't have ISO 18001 2007 lead auditor trainings, and before they hired that kind of safety professional. So that's why the organization suffered also. And they're practicing that until now. And it's very difficult for me to polish and to improve because they are used to that kind of poor safety culture and poor safety program that is not basing really to the standard in OSHA. Okay, so just like that, this is just like playing a game, but I always insist and inserting mine. Okay. Anyhow, it will still be slowly, slowly, slowly like this. Okay. Like that. And I'm suffering really. Okay. And also the manual, the safety manual and the safety policy. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Oh my god, I review have, but there's still a lot of missing requirement. Okay, like this. You don't even, insert the permit to work system, the emergency and evacuation, like that. Only the PPE, the fire prevention, like that, have, but not really that comprehensive enough. Okay? I don't think so because that's really the effect of hiring incompetent professionals in a certain department. It will suffer really. Okay? Sure, 101%. Okay, so it's the job of the HR to troubleshoot the most competent professionals in that particular, position, so that it can carry out his job properly, effectively, and it can improve really the performance of that particular department, something like that. Okay, so maybe Also, falsification of documents like that. Okay, then not really that true safety engineer, but then we change the certificate to safety engineer like that. They're working before, for example, mechanical engineer, and then they change it to safety engineer because there's a hiring, international companies hiring safety engineer, and they change their document, falsifying that one like that. And then during the interview, the employers just believe, they don't know that those are only falsified credentials, something like that's also, then it will really affect and echoes in actual situation. It will really reflect if you hired a competent personnel or not, the way they behave in actual work, the way they talk, the way they communicate, the way they do their job in a daily basis. It will really radiate how competent the personnel are. Okay, like that. Okay, so that's really the barrier and limitation sometimes. Okay, in a certain organization, because there's no perfect organization also. Okay, like that. But this is not related to the organization that I am now. It's only my personal, habits doing this kind of, information sharing. And because I have my YT channel also, I have to grow my YT channel because my channel is monetized already. That I have the commitment and passion to do this. I have time to do this. Okay, even though I have also some learning, I have also to intensify my learnings through research. Okay, reading, watching videos, something like that. Okay, something. My gosh, so many ideas in my head, and sometimes will be lost. Sometimes others will be forgotten like this because we're growing old, right? Our brain retention, memory retention is also not good as we grow older, right? Based on biological study. Oh my gosh. So if we are becoming old, our brain also will get old. So the memory retention is not as good as when you are young. Okay? Because there are also muscles. Our muscles are weak already. And we need also more of collagen. You know collagen? Building of protein to make our body structure more compact. Something like that. Yeah, really. I love that collagen. Gosh, what's the formula of collagen again? So our topic today is protein. Gosh, the time now is 1 hour and 2 minutes and 32 seconds. It would be more. Okay, now part one of this discussion of protein. Oh my gosh, my mouth is very talkative, right? God bless everybody. Bye bye. See you later with my part two of protein as the building blocks of life. Okay, if you think you like this video, you can comment, you can share also to anybody else if you want to, and then you can click the notification bell for some news updates of I Am a Singer Eternal Voice. It could be specifically on OSH, Occupational Safety and Health, okay, plus environment, or plus personal bloggings if I want to, also sometimes, or other topics that I found it relevant at that moment, then I will be able to share with you guys. Okay? Thank you so much. See you later. Stay safe. Wow. Oh my gosh. Talaga? My God. Your stream will stop immediately and will no longer be live. Yes. Oh my gosh.